Good morning, replayers. So happy to have you here. I'm working here on a wallpaper bead, mainly to make sure it works, and it does. I wanted to thank you for spending your time with me. So many places you could be, and I'm glad that you chose here to replay. We got a fun day planned. We're going to make some paper beads. We're going to make some clusters, all using vintage stuff. Hi, Jen Wren. Good morning. How are you? I hope everything's lovely for you today. Good morning, Janet. I should say good afternoon, Janet. I went ahead and started this morning making some of these so I'd have a little more practice. But they're coming along It's coming along wonderfully. Yes, vintage. I've got so much vintage stuff that I thought, let's get some of these things used. It's silly for it just to sit here. Oh, you've walked. It's rainy, windy, dreary, but we so need the rain. I'm not complaining. I want you to see more of my mess. Everybody needs to see my mess. Yeah, now you can't see what I'm doing. Such a lag. Hi, Joni. Good happy morning to you, too. Freddie took you on your walk. Always nice about big dogs. They tend to do that, don't they? Now, does he wake you up in the morning too, Janet? I'm still adjusting. It's hard for me to get my camera adjusted because when I'm not filming, I move it. Wanting you to see more of the showroom floor. Oh, he's very patient. Well, good. Hello, Fanatic Connecting Guru. Welcome. This is a first-time visitor. I hope all of you will welcome him. I have a very friendly group here, Mr. Fanatic Guru. What would you like us to call you? When I make my paper beads, I usually fold down even with the wallpaper ones. And this bead was made with the colored pencil. So it's bigger. So, and now I'm going to try my crochet hook. I like these two sizes because it tends to make the two sizes I want. And all you do is just roll, and I'll show you how I got my triangles done. I'm using the wallpaper because it's longer, and I wanted to try what that would look like. And sorting scrapbook papers, oh my. We're going to make a convert out of Joni. I do like paper crafting. I think sewing my favorite, but I do like the paper crafting. I like to make the journals. I just don't make a lot of journals because there's only so many I can use. Good morning, Gail. You're eating hotcakes, Jen. Good morning, Carol. Gail, I hope it's nicer out where you are than where I am. But you got to go get those groceries. It's a gloomy, rainy, windy day here. It's a good day to be inside crafting or sewing or sleeping or reading a good book. I'll probably listen to my book later. For those just coming in, welcome to my channel. We're making wallpaper paper beads today, which if you've made regular paper beads, it's very similar. Hi, Pam. Are you on your way home? Oh, so you're a yarn fanatic, Guru. Field trip day with your fifth grader. Fun. I've been on a share of those. Don't need to go again. Where's your field trip to, Pam? Okay, you said hello, Linda. The state capital. Oh, yeah. Ours, I think, do that in fourth, but I'm not sure anymore. In Florida, that our school quit doing it because they couldn't get any teachers to plan it. That's a lot of work on teachers. And none of them had time to do it or wanted to do it. And then for us, our school, it was an all-day trip. I mean, they left before school and got home in the evening. It was a 3.5 hour drive down there. Hi, Barbara. So glad to see you here. Barbara's had lots of life adulting going on. I hope everyone is doing well. Yeah, it's only an hour drive. Are you driving or riding that dreaded bus? We never could get parents to ride the bus. I can't blame them. Okay, there's that button. So I now have 2 buttons made. I love the colors they're coming out as. So fun. Hi, Janet Burgess. How are you today? Here's it is. I started with this vintage wallpaper. And on the other side, I just cut my paper in long triangles. And because it's long, I have to move my ruler. And I'm not worrying about if it's totally straight. I do, let me get the book off. That'll make my life easier. I left the one I drew so that I'm just kind of starting with it. And you can make it as wide as you want. And I just do this and then move it down. And then move it down. And as you can see, you can tell my stops and starts. And I just take care of that when I'm cutting. Hello, Jasper. Hello, Miriam. Miriam's also fairly new. And then I just cut on my pencil lines to the best of the curly ability. And Janet Burgess, I hope you're finding a lovely day when you look out your window. I'm guessing you're knitting. Yes, Miriam, isn't it? Isn't it though? I loved your tray that I watched you decorate. Well, I guess you made it and then watched you. I had to turn the sound off because I was watching NCIS. So I turned the sound down and sat there and just watched you. The leaves are dropping fast. Now we don't, here at the farmhouse, we don't have the leaf problem that we did down at Andy's because they're in the middle of timber. Andy uses a leaf blower and blows them into the gravel and then burns them. He started doing that when he was in high school, and I had cancer and I couldn't rake them because that was always my job. And I would have trailer loads. And because I was afraid to burn them. And then when I got a little more braver, I would, but sometimes there was just too much to ever burn. Hi, Becky. And so in high school, he started using the rake blower. Now, wasn't that smart of him, or college, or whenever he was in charge of it? I think it was high school. And because we wouldn't have been up here when he'd blow those leaves out of my flower beds for me, because otherwise they killed the flowers. Have you called about? I think I'd be going to the Better Business Bureau unless they had a tag or it told you no returns on that washer. That's crazy. So anyway, I draw one, and this is very curly. It's very fiddly compared to regular paper. But I do kind of like having some bigger beads. And the wallpaper lends itself well to doing that because oh, my little beads are over there. But this, these make longer beads, so therefore they're a lot thicker. What am I going to do with these, you might ask? Oh, would somebody get that visitor that we don't need? Block them and report them. Or can you see that visitor? Do my hands hurt? No. Not yet. Now, if I did this all day, they would. Thank you, Janet. I look when I set up my video on StreamYard and I don't see it. I miss it. So I'm going to have to make a fake video and see if I can do that. That's just crazy. And usually they are very fun to make, Janet, and I find them relaxing. I'm using the Yes paint. Paste, not paint, paste. To make sure that it's stuck, because, you know, the back's different than paper. So I wanted to use something that would keep it sticking. Oh, Janet, goodness. Thank you, Janet. I did those the other day. I was getting them ready because they looked so bad, hoping I could go to church Sunday, and then I ended up sleeping my day away. And here I am going without paper underneath. It is a production line. Not so much today as it was then, because I don't have all of my paper cut because it's such a pain to draw it. I did. And then I slept all night. I was very worn out. And then the kids came yesterday, which was a good thing because they keep me up and busy. And we chopped those geodes in half. If you want to see that, I've got a short of Jackson doing it. Emerson was breaking them too, but I don't have many videos of just him. So I just did him. He's the one that's really gotten into it. Of course, you know, you give a little boy an axe and he's fine. He can entertain himself for a little while. So and I find when my pencil or whatever I'm using gets pretty gummy, my beads don't want to come off. So you have to clean it. How many times, Janet, have you and Freddie got caught in a downpour unready? That's right, Janet, because she's the bot slayer. We don't want her getting soaked. Of course, in London, England, you pretty much know it's going to rain probably sometime. Had coffee and cake. Okay, now let's do this one. The super have to come at... Oh, I'm sorry, Miriam. We'll be here, my friend. We'll be here. Miriam makes her own stencils also. If you haven't watched her, she doesn't have many subscribers. And but I enjoy watching because what she does is very different. And she's She made a tray, and then she first thing I watched was her making stencils. Yes, Janet. I love Mary Poppins. Oops. Love Mary Poppins. I put glue. Whoops. There went the brush handle. I put the glue on my wallpaper a little bit before I get started because it is fiddly. I'm kind of alternating between my crochet hook and my colored pencil. I know those are just really artistic tools, but you know, you use what you got. Good morning, Stace. Stace, how are you today? I hope you woke up to a lovely day inside or out. Here it's kind of a cloudy, gloomy day, but it's a good day inside. I have no baking to do because the Grands and I yesterday made homemade chocolate turtles. And so there's snacks when anybody comes in needing them. I just have to stay out of them, and that's very hard for me. So I tend to not to. Yes, we've got 2 Janets. I wonder if the third one will arrive. Jasper, they're so easy. So easy. You do them in the crock pot. And it's 2 16-ounce jars of peanuts. And you layer all this. And then 2 white almond bark packages of white almond bark, 2 packages of it. I think a package is a pound. I'm not sure. 2 bags of the, M&Ms. I use milk chocolate, but you can use semi-chocolate sweet if you want. Like I say, you do peanuts and then chocolate chips and then almond bark. And then you do a bar of good chocolate, like German chocolate or Lindt or whatever you find at your grocery store, the dark chocolate. And I pound up the white almond bark and the candy bar. Then you turn your crock pot on to low after you've layered it. And don't stir, don't anything for 3 hours. And when your 3 hours, I always set a timer. When the 3 hours are over, I stir. And then with the teaspoon, like refrigerator teaspoon, silverware teaspoon, I dip them onto waxed paper or parchment paper until they harden. You can freeze them. You can leave them in the refrigerator, or you can leave them out, depending on how soft you like yours. Very easy. Yeah, Barbara, that's part of the problem. Now, what Emerson and Jackson like to do is spoon some into a bowl and eat it with a spoon while it's still warm, because they don't want to wait until they're all done. Hi, Steffi. How are you? I'll have to show here. We have our doll that you sent us named Gabby. And Emerson and I got her face on her and hair. Emerson even put underwear on her because she said everybody needed to have underwear on. So I let her paint the underwear and color it any way she wanted. I didn't care. And then the nose and the mouth I drew, and then she traced. And there's that one. I like how these are coming out different colors because of the different colors of the wallpaper I'm using. And I'm just using the same wallpaper. I'm not varying in any. I could. Yeah, Emerson named her because of the show Gabby's Playhouse or Gabby's Dollhouse. Let me get her here since my hands are going to be clean for a second. Here is Gabby. I don't want to keep her out of the glue. Steffi sent her with the dress, but without a face or hair. There's her underwear. We have quite colorful underwear. Oh, Jasper, they would be cool for it. And then her dress was falling down, so we used straight pins to decorate her bodice. I keep getting her out of range. And then this is her face. And I thought Emerson said that your nose is round, so she needed a round nose. And she did the eyelashes. All I did was do the shape of her eyes and the shape of her mouth. And Emerson did everything else. As you notice, she does have purple eyelashes. I like these eyelashes here on the corner. And then these are her little bangs. And then this is her hair. Emerson said she needed highlights. So that's why we have the yellow. And then, of course, we needed a hat. And you give a little girl glue and ribbon, and she likes to cut it and glue it on. Emerson's other grandmother is has her own hair salon. So Emerson knows all the terminology. So anyway, this is Gabby. So we got that job all done. And then later that day we played. I'm the only one that will let Emerson play hair salon with my hair. Of course, it's so short, what she's going to do to it. So, but I got lucky because Jackson was here and he let her for a while play with his. Yeah, really, Jasper, don't you? Okay. I cannot work with my hands glued together, so pardon me while I do all this washing of hands. Okay, now we get, here's one. I think this is going to be my last bead. I'm sure it gets kind of relaxing to watch, but yet monotonous. Greg's on the phone in the back to friends of ours. They have a catamaran and they must be getting ready to go somewhere. Pardon any language you hear in the back. Well, all you have to do, Janet, is show it up at a football game of Jackson's, and you've got about 4 little girls wanting to play with your hair. And one grandmother did pay them. She Just a minute. I'll be back. Greg, watch your mouth. We can hear you. You can talk, just don't. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. That's why this video is not for children. Yeah, you did, Gail. You did. I got a dirty look. You're going to hear politics back there too, I am sure. So anyway, they like to do people's hair at the ball game. Of course, they're bored. Yes, it is, Janet. And I don't mind you hearing our family life. I just really don't want you to hear that kind of talk. I don't like listening to that kind of talk. So anyway, little girls played with a bunch of their hair and got paid. So there you go, Janet. I'll let you know next year when the ball games are going. Yeah, when those two get to going, the language flies, especially if they're talking politics. We're not big fans of the current administration. Yeah, I think it's about whatever email list you're on, or it could be that they, Social Security probably stole our email address to everybody. So, how that works. Yeah. And one of his best friends builds the muscle cars, so yeah. Anyway, my brush, no, it's a regular paintbrush that I've ruined with glue. It does wash out. This one's going to get thrown away this time because it broke on me, and I don't like using broken brushes. And I find, as you can see, I use a lot of glue. But my brush is and here's one that's coming off, that saw coming apart. But anyway, that's all I'm going to cut. I've kind of shown you the steps. And they're early voting. That's where they are. So we but there you go. There are 4 more beads made. I do like for bigger beads, the wallpaper. There you go, Jasper. I could. It depends on how well Yes Paint comes out of the brush. There's a little bit of glossy accents in there. I think it will. I think it all will come out. So I want to use some of this paper and music for my clusters, and but it does work well. But a silicone brush would be nice.
Well, this was an email from somebody in the
Yes, and that's what I did, Steffi, with my painty papers that I did. It's just with the wallpaper, I didn't. Um, yeah, I'm trying. They're going to be into the voting thing, and then they'll quit talking. Yeah, I saw where some people do that for their beads. Um, he can't hear, so therefore he assumes, and the person he's talking to can't either. Um, so, but you know, these as you turn them, that's one reason I kind of like starting them with the fold because it kind of takes care of some of that color in the middle. But I like them. I don't know that I would want a lot of these great big ones. So, yeah, sorry. I'm glad you guys are understanding. I hope my replayers are. Nobody turns me in. That's true. Eyelets at the end would be cool. I'm not real good with my eyelets. I've got the thing you can do them with and stuff. I'm just not real good with it. I need to do it more. The main reason I got it was to poke holes in my spines of my journal because I don't like doing that with I despise puddings. If I could teach Jackson or Emerson how to do that, I think I could pay them to do it. But anyway, those are my beads. I'm happy with them. Don't crush them, just glue them in. Oh, okay, I could do that then. Thanks, Janet. I hadn't thought about gluing them in. I think I've got some. I'll do that later, though, when these aren't so gluey. I'll let them dry. I know, Barbara. I know. I got some stuff out because with the wallpaper, I also want to make clusters because I've got all this wallpaper and there's only so much I'm going to do with it. So I was trying to come up with something to do with it that would be fun and also get rid of it. Well, I also have all of this natural vintage paper, as you all know. So I thought, oh, okay, we will play with it. So I'll get my gluey book here. I've got my wallpaper, but I don't want to use the wallpaper I was making beads with. I like it for beads. I'm going to use pretty paper to make my ephemera. And let me get these completely out of my way. And Jody, you're funny. My students always loved them too. And I cut some out because I had this short little piece. And I thought, wouldn't this be a fun bottom, I couldn't think of the word, to a cluster. And I'm out of clusters. I need some clusters. And so I'm going to try and make these out of just vintage stuff. I'd like to have that in my yard. Wouldn't that be cute? And when I make my clusters, I like to layer it on. And I have this old, this is from 2010, so it's vintage, I guess. 10 years old or 10-year-old's vintage. I like the numbers on it. I do too. I do too. And like I said, I have lots. This is from 1924 tax receipt. And we're only going to use a couple of these. I'm not, but isn't this neat? Very old. 1924. And I don't know, there's just something about the lines, but I don't want to lose all of the picture either. So I may put it on top. And they're such good condition. And then I will use some of Tim Holtz paper. I will use some of this coffee dyed and some that I sprayed because I can't make a cluster without a little bit of fabric or texture. Oh my, Barbara, you don't see those very often. That's too big. Do you have the rotary kind or do you have the touch button? I've got an old wall phone in Florida. And I'm going to sew these. So I am trying to think what glue, or I don't have paper clips. So in here, I have paper clips. What do I want to use? I'll use straight pins. Oh, get that coffee. Hi, Beth. I got your Happy Mail. I'm going to show it here in a little while. Okay, there's this one. And then I'll probably put some kind of fabric or lace across. And I'll decide that when I sew it. We're just going to do mostly the paper and stuff here. And here's another of that Schoolhouse. Here's Yahtzee. I remember this game. I loved playing this game as a kid. We thought there was skill involved. We were so wrong. You know, when you're a little kid, there's not a whole lot of skill to throwing dice. Let's use a little of this. Now, when I do clusters, I don't tend to do real pretty clusters. I tend to do jiggity jag clusters. That's just me. See, I like that, but I'm going to glue the butterfly. Hi, Becca. Somebody's seeing you way before me. And then this one, I'll just sew either across or down, however the mood strikes me at the time. But I'll do them kind of like a quilt, one right after the other, and then I'll clip the bottom pieces. What else do I have in this pile of stuff? Ooh, this will make a fun one. I want to use some music. Let's use some vintage music. I have lots of vintage music. Hi, Margaret. Welcome. How are you this morning? I think I'll do a little bit of distressing on this here music. All of you that came in, I hope your day is finding you well. I've finished my beads, and this is some of Tim Holt's paper, I think. I'm not sure. But, and some of this is coffee dyed. I thought I'd make a grungy one. I just really like to have stuff ready when I want it. I do little drawers of here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of drawers, 5 sets of drawers where I keep ephemera I've made or things to use to make ephemera and stuff so that it's handy. I just like making ephemera and I like mask making. So as you can see, I'm all about mask making. Well, you know, I could, but Tim got my money instead. So I guess it's not his anymore. It just has his name on it. He's not real good about taking his name off things once he sells it to others. I do too, Margaret. I like to use my stuff. Oh, that one I've already got one. What else? Well, let's look over here. I've got plenty of stuff in here. Ooh, I like that. And some people have lots of thought to their cluster making, but I don't. typewriter ribbon. That's kind of fun. So let's just do a guess check. We can put, I don't want hugs on that. And I will put words on these when they're done. Those that I don't have. And some I'll do words now. Yes, I always do fabrics and laces. I was saying I'll do the lace and stuff across the top when I sew. Here's some old. I'm going to glue that on. It's so old it might tear. They do, Janet. They all seem to work out regardless of what you decide to do. And I've still never seen an ugly one. Never seen an ugly one. Oh my, they're sticking to my finger. Looking for some fabric. Let's use, got a lot of prints, so let's use this stamp. This is a good way to get rid of your fabric too. And I've got scrap lace and stuff, and this is what I'll bring out when I go to do the top. I'll bring this out, but I don't want to try and hold it on there right now. It is fun. This fabric is fun. One thing I try to do with some of my strips is fabric is I'll wrap them around like addition cards, and I'll just make a strip, and then they're ready for stuff like this. And that's upside down. There we go. That does bother me if it's upside down. Oh, pen. Oh, you're knitting mittens now? Your mittens aren't wool? There's that one. I'm not looking for pretty right now. Let's do some of these round things. We could put some round things. I like different shapes on my clusters too. And I like to get numbers and stuff on my clusters. Okay, Jen Ran. Emerson got a new little kitten. It has white feet, so her mom calls it boots, and Emerson calls it socks. So it's boot socks, I guess. Her cat disappeared, and she was so upset. So she's got a new baby kitten now that's just been weaned. And let's use some of this old map. Hi, Vanessa. How are you? All right. Be careful out there, Gail. I hope you're feeling well, Vanessa. I know you haven't been feeling real good. Tomorrow, Gail will have her grocery run. Oh, look at this old, this is another thing I've done with old wallpaper, is cut it out into different shapes. I'm going to put this flower down at the bottom, add a little weight to the bottom. And now a little fabric. Let's add some of this pink. I got this at one of Keisha's sales, and it came with painty paper on it. And I thought, oh, I hadn't thought of using painty paper for flashcards. So I'm going to have to remember that. But I thought that was a fun idea. Can you see that painty paper on it? And I can even put these on a flashcard or a tag of some kind if I wanted to. But usually I just glue them to the corner of a page or do that kind of thing. I'm going to cut this bottom off and this top off. So we have this old check from the 1900s. So it says on the fabric. And let's start. I like the date. I want the dates to show. So we'll do this. And then some of you may get some of this in Happy Mail. Kahlua. How do we get to start? Oh. Pure milk. No, there's not. Shucky darn, Barbara. Becca, how are you doing today? I hope everything's fine and dandy in your life. Maybe we'll use this pure milk right down here. And everybody else can think Kahlua. You need coffee? I hear ya. I got tea now. I've had my cup, so I'm done drinking coffee. I really try and keep it 1 cup a day. Sometimes I have to have 2, but not sure if this is vellum or just stick on. Don't you hate that, Becca? It's like overnight. Well, I'm making an oh, it does come off. Why do these have to be so hard to take off? There we go. They are on there so well. Well, since this is on there too, I'm not going to put, I've changed my plan. I think I'm going to leave that like that. Not the plan I had. That's okay. Thank you, Beth. Okay, we're doing the Yahtzee paper again. We got this. Let's go with this. And now got some medallions I can use. Here's some people that Steffi sent me. Bye, Pam. Have fun. Enjoy your sun. $36 degrees. Oh my. Okay, we'll do that. I can't imagine minus 63 degrees. Oh, Becca, that's awful. Did it keep you awake? About 10 o'clock. Oh, I'm glad you're safe. Weather is amazing, isn't it? Window wide open. We have our bedroom open, window open, but yes, Jasper. We sure did. Well, we do here in Missouri too. See, this could make a flip. My son's calling his daddy. You know, when you love to be outdoors and it's raining, it kind of stops your fun. Well, hi, Chris. Welcome. Welcome. Would somebody post Art Curious? And Chris, you have a channel too, correct? For me, I'd appreciate that. Then you can all find their channels. Anybody else that's new? We like to welcome them. I don't sing like Becca does, but that's okay. You're nonetheless welcomed anyway. Ooh, that's ugly there. I need a muted butterfly if I'm going to do a butterfly. About something like that. Ooh, I kind of like that. Thank you, Janet, so much. I want a quote or something, and Steffi sent me quotes. See if I can find one of those. I found them last night when I was getting things ready. I may have to find them when I clean off my desk. I want something else. Well, I got fabric. I feel I have. I like to keep my clusters about 4 or 5 things. I just didn't have it all together here. And then a topper or my thread on top of all that. Oh, I'm having some trouble here, friends. Thank you, Jasper. Yes, I like those thumbs up. It makes me feel like somebody watched. I don't know how to judge that YouTube studio, all the dynamics and stuff, but I get on it way too much and I stress about it all too much. And I just need to remember I'm having fun. Wow, you're busy, Chris. Huh. I don't know. I don't know, Miriam. Yes, it does. I have on sweats. Hi, Mrs. Gigi. Hello. I'm so glad you're here. I love this community and how we take care of one another. I want to show, while she's still here, Bess, Happy Mail. Emerson came in from getting the mail, said I had Happy Mail. Emerson went running. Of course, she always thinks it has to be for her, and it does not. And it was from Beth. She's got candy corn and this pretty. All the little candy corn and the stamp. And then she has this little Halloween. And then she has check, noted to do, done, check, noted to do, washi. And then inside was this fun towel. And for those of you that have been watching me, know that I've been sewing tops on towels to hang from my cabinets and stuff. And I did not have a Halloween, I have fall. And it says, I put a spell on you. Isn't that cute? So I haven't decided yet if I'm going to hang it over my oven handle or if I'm going to make a tag, a thing that snaps to like the handle of a drawer or something. So thank you very much, Gail. That will certainly find its way to my kitchen. I thought that was so cute. Oh, good, Chris. So glad you did. I was watching somebody's stream and realized I'd never subscribed. I did that real quick. I don't mind having a lot of people I have subscribed to. It kind of gives me a variety to look for. Oh, you're fine, Miriam. We don't mind. Everyone is welcomed, and especially when you're trying to do English, it's not an easy subject. Not an easy subject at all. Or language, I should say. Shoot, my students from America had trouble learning it. Now, I'm just looking to see what I got that I want to use. Okay, there's my layers. Let's get some different shapes and all rectangles. Oh, good, Jasper. I don't. Well, I can count and do what other Americans can do and butcher the language and all that, but let's put maybe a fabric word needs to go on there or something. I've got Tim Holt's tablets. Like that. No. Oh, here's my little words. See, I knew I had them. Use a Steffi word. There we go. And I'll let the word be the spotlight. Trying to find something here. I told you I'm a digger. Here's this. There. I don't want to poke a hole in the word. In Hebrew. Awesome. Ah, neat, Chris. Yes, it is, Becca. It's so much easier when we can talk to ourselves. Originally so you speak Hebrew, Miriam, Spanish, and English? They say it's okay to answer yourself. It's when you argue with yourself that we need to worry. All right, Beth, thank you for stopping by. Gonna glue these two. And let's get a little bit of fabric. Can you tell I love cheesecloth? I'm reading what Chris wrote. Oh. She goes, Thread and Glue goes by Steffi or Stephanie. There's a lot of Stephanies. I think she went by Steffi. But I'll let her talk for herself. Stephanie's the one that got me the awesome fabric. I used some of it for pillowcases when I was cutting out. I still need to get those sewn together, but it's all right now. I've got them cut out so I need to glue this onto something because it's so old. This came from, I better not say, I can't remember for exact. Gigi's in Sweden. We've got people from England and Sweden and Mexico and the US, Canada. We're international today. I love it. you do, Jasper? Becky, you sound so like me. I'm gluing these all down for something different. Just to kind of give a stronger base. And then I can use this for a tuck spot or a something different. I don't know what. Israel, I tell you, we've got okay, Chris, that's interesting to know. I've been to Cozumel, but that's the extent of my Mexico travels. We're going to the Caribbean in April, but that's not Mexico. It disintegrated. Yeah, old things do that. Sometimes I'm wondering if I'm going to. I bet you were hated to lose that. Are you going to start a new one, Janet? Yeah, it is touristy there. Every ship, I think, cruise ship stops there. Then I'll put lace or something across, I'm sure, and that will be that. Yes, Belize. My husband in college got to do a Panama City visit, and his pictures are so interesting. He got to go to Panama and do a tour and stuff there. What do I want to use next? Trying to see what I got. I want to use these people, but I'm not sure how I want to do it. I'm going to be starting another sewing journal with Steffi. That's the one that she sent me in my Happy Mail. Maybe I'll use that in there. And I could make ephemera with it, but I'm not. Stephanie, how are you? I hope this morning found you well and happy. I love ticking, don't you all? It's just something about that. Going to use this as the fabric on top, and then some wallpaper. Maybe make another flip here. Oh, I love the UK. We went 20 some years ago, right before the summer before Princess Diana was killed. Oh, isn't that the truth, Jasper? That beautiful art. I loved it over there. I always said if I ran away from home, look for me there. Obviously, I'm not running away from home if that's where you're going to look for me. But, well, there's a cluster there. I wouldn't tell you where I'm going unless Janet or Gigi or Barbara are willing to hide me. Barbara Every might. I would love to pop over. Bye, Carol. Thanks for coming by. Stephanie, I am making clusters. I made paper beads that I've already lost. Here they are. I've made paper beads out of wallpaper. And now I'm making clusters and flips out of wallpaper. But I'm making mostly big ones. They tend to have gotten bigger, but there's a smaller one that I can, use as a tuck spot. And I pinned them so that I could sew either across or down. But here's some that I've made. Oh, I'm trying to make sure you can see them. I should make some little bitty ones. But I'm trying to use vintage stuff. Thank you, Stephanie. I'm going to move these on the sewing machine behind me just to get them out of the way. There we go. Let's make stuff. I do have pretty big stuff. I think I'm going to cut around this one. Oh, isn't it though, Jasper? Sit out by your garden. I love when people show their spaces because I'm nosy, but also then I can picture where they're at. I just think it adds a vibe, as well as it helps me, of course, picture what they're doing, but it also gives ideas to how I could rearrange and be more. I don't rearrange so much to clean because I start out, believe it or not, at a clean table. I can't work like this with just a little bit of space. I can't do that. But I need more efficient. I don't feel like I'm as efficient as I could be. And here's a picture of an elk. We raised those when we retired from raising elk. Here, let me move it over. Nope, this way. I forget where my camera is. There. That's an elk with the huge antlers. And I've got such a lag. There you go, Becca. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that help. There's my camera. But we had 40 of those when we retired. Bucks. Now the doe that's behind it, the cow, does not have antlers. Only the bucks have antlers. And they lose them each spring, and then they get more in the fall. And they start in velvet where they're soft. And they're dangerous with those antlers. They, especially for people. But it was fun raising them. That was my husband's love, is wildlife. And we raised catfish, and we've raised ducks, and we've raised quail. He loved doing things. We never raised chickens. I think I want this on the bottom when I get done. But we had hogs and cattle too, but they're not quite as interesting. And now the kids have goats. So as Greg said, he never thought he'd be a goat herder. Here we go. That works. And now we have no animals. And the reason for that is my husband said he has spent his life doing chores, and he's done. When we want to take off and go, we can go. Now the grands, their dogs and animals are up here a lot. And their lab spends most of its time up here, but they don't come in the house. The only pet that gets to come in the house is Benson. Lucy sometimes. And the reason Benson does is because he's always been a house dog. He's very, very old and blind, and he wouldn't last outside very long. And then what you doing, babe? Okay. I bet. So Benson gets to come in, and he has his little pillow and blanket for when he's up here. Okay. But is the rest of the area? Hi, Dana. How are you? I'm so glad you stopped by. Janet's going to dig us out. She would. She's that kind of a person. Creative chaos. When I'm working, it's creative chaos. But when I get done, I have to pick it up or it bugs me. But that doesn't mean it's tidy. Three ongoing projects now, Chris. I've got sewing projects going. I've got knitting projects going. I've got slow stitching projects going. I've got this paper mess going, but they're all in different areas. I always keep slow stitching or something by my chair. Now that, Jasper, I do. I very bad about that. But I do that all over. I mean, you guys have watched. I can't find anything when it's a mess either. I think that's the nature of the beast. That's it, Miriam. Yeah. Yep, I think we're all kind of alike that way. Hi, Sylvia. How are you? I'm glad you're here. Now we have even another country represented, if anybody's kept track for me. We've got Italy now, the US, we've got Canada, England, Sweden, Mexico, Israel. What did I forget? I always like Janet and Mary RTAs. They just kind of invite creativity because they're that happy medium. This is some of Shannon's things. You're tired. Are you going to be able to rest? I hope so. Your assistant. Yeah, I have a 6-year-old assistant, but she is good with tidying up. And she remembers where she put stuff, or I put stuff. Of course, she likes to blame me if she can't find something, and then it'll be, oh, I had that, didn't I? Yeah, babe, you did. This needs something else. What do I need? Well, for one thing, I'm going to tear it off so it's not so long. I have too many long things. I think I'm going to move this up. That's right, Jasper. And I always think I'm being tidier. But I'm not. But by mine being in the back of the living room, I feel like I need to somewhat keep a tidier spot because I can't shut the door. I'm having trouble with this one. Oh, yeah, if somebody else did, I for sure wouldn't. Your kitties are being rambunctious. I'll put a pin in it and maybe I'll add something later. Moving into your bedroom, Janet. We don't get that much company. We get the kids and we get, a few visitors. We usually always stop at the kitchen. Greg doesn't come in too much. I think he likes the living room, the kitchen better. It's got a chair in there and he can switch from his heat pad to ice or whatever he needs for his back. And so, it's not too much, people coming in and out. And in Florida, I've got a room I could shut the door, but that's his office too. So, oh, so the cats don't get into it. Okay, Miriam. Yeah, cats tend to get into things. I'm having to pick up a little bit so I can find some stuff. I can't even find anything to use right now. It's such a mess. I love this little box, but things seem to disappear in it. I had it since I was teaching. And my drawers do help because they're clear and I can see. And that's usually where I keep things that I've picked up. I've made. Or these down here are things I can use. I don't need that. And I don't keep a lot of paper scraps. I might make something with that today. They've got to be big for me to keep them. Like all these little ones. I have them on, and since I do have them, it's only because they didn't get thrown away. Oh, you craft on your bed, Jasper. what do you do? What do you do for a hard surface when you're crafting, or do you need one? We sure do, don't we? Janet, craft where you are. Thanks. Bed tray thingy, okay. I sometimes use a cookie tray. Jonah, you do too. Do you crochet in bed? I know Janet sometimes takes it to bed with her. Janet Nash, I don't. I have a little table, huh? Jasper, you're always so willing to get rid of stuff and share. Dinner time here. See you. Have a lovely evening, Gigi. Thanks for stopping by. Oh no, Jasper, that's not good. Isn't it lovely how we can have all the time zones and know that, Gigi it's dinner time. It's past dinner time for you, isn't it, Janet Nash? And Barbara is in Canada, but it's the same for hers. Hi, Pam. She's on that bus. Oh, no, Pam. You should be slowly getting there, though, aren't you, Pam? It's nearly 5 o'clock. Okay, Janet, you usually eat what, about 6? I'm guessing there. See, I'm finding paper now that I can use since I picked up. I've got my bling in here, so I'll put that on when I'm completely done. Almost 7 there in Israel. It's 11:45 on the eastern coast. Oh, so it's later on Tuesday night. I don't miss those bus trips, Pam. I've been on a few. Okay. So now I can go back and make some little ones. I think I'll add buttons to these. Where's my buttons? Now, Dana, you're on the Eastern Coast too, aren't you? Oh, Sylvia's in France. Okay, not Italy. Okay, I'm sorry, Sylvia. Yeah, that's another one I would like to go to. My husband's been there. Belgium and that area. I have two cousins that are sisters that just got back from 10 days in Italy, and they loved it. Their pictures were wonderful. Fifth graders in a bus. Oh my. Thing is, you're not responsible for behavior. You can just ride. Central Florida, Eastern Coast. That's what I thought. I'm in Central Coast up in Florida and Pensacola area. I have to remember that when we get back down there to change my addresses on everything. Everybody's text and emails and Facebook address, and I'll change it on my YouTube. I'll probably change it the 1st of December so it can start going there. You're sitting by your son. How'd that happen? Is that what happens if parents go? They sit by their sons? Shoot, we had trouble getting the kids to even let their parents go. Need a different color button. Yeah, Janet, that makes such a huge difference. And that's what kind of curtailed us. But I'm trying to walk every day to get a little stronger and so that I can. Of course, this weather kind of stops some of that. Beam me up, Scotty. I don't know. We need to find somebody, Jasper, in Italy so we can go. Oh, do you, Dana? Yeah, we're not far at all from Alabama. We are in Milton. So when we head up here, we go through Bruton and then Montgomery. And oh, did we, Janet? Janet, you're so good about remembering all that. You do have to accept it, but I'm not ready to yet. There's places here in the U.S. I haven't been. I haven't been to the Northwest or the Northeast. The far Northwest. I haven't been to Oregon and Washington. Haven't been to the Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont. And I haven't been to Hawaii or Alaska. Yeah, that wheelchair does slow you down. Unfortunately. I'm sorry. Yep, he's going to have to hold it. Pam, is he one on the spectrum of your two of your kids? I know sometimes ours that were on the spectrum, parents would go just to help with them. So we didn't lose them. Yes, okay. Yeah, Chris, I don't even want to go there on the border and all that. You'd have better luck coming illegally, I'm afraid. Oh, let's do a little bit of cheesecloth in this green linen. He's squirming in his seat. Bless his heart. And that's always hard as a teacher, too, when you know they have to go, but you can't do a thing about it because you sure. And as soon as you let one, they all think they need to go, whether they really do or not. And if you stop at a gas station, they all want to go and get something to eat. And that's not an option. I enjoyed Ireland, Jasper, but not as much as the United Kingdom. I've got these sitting here. I think I'll make some pockets. Let's get some. Yeah, Australia, New Zealand. I'm right there with you, Jasper. Right now, to kind of get me, prepared for the traveling is, we're doing the cruise because I can always stay on the boat or go and rest or whatever. We did we went out to my sister's, which was a 6-hour drive, and I did well traveling. There you go, Jasper. Send a postcard. Okay, I know I put those people somewhere that Steffi gave me. wanting to keep these all vintagey. Look at this picture I found. I have photo albums of these. I need to learn how to make digis so I can use them in a bag, in a box, you think. Okay, thank you. You are so right, Janet. Thank you. Okay, you guys, Janet's our finder. I know, Becca. Won't that be cool? Now, he's a cute little boy. With his little dog. No, I don't. There's, oh, yeah, I do. Minnie Riebel. This would be my mother-in-law's grandmother, is who that would be. Sometime I'm going to get those. We got photo albums out when we were looking for photos for Greg's family reunion of his cousins and stuff. And I found that one and thought it was pretty cool. But we have photo albums that are even older. Oh, Miriam. Yeah, they're lovely to have. My sister-in-law, when Mom cleaned out all theirs, has all those old pictures. And I've just asked for photocopies. I don't need the actual picture. So I could use them. I just haven't gone and gotten them. She's in Florida and she'd let me. I just haven't. Want him on the side so I can make that a pocket. Oh, aren't they, Janet? There's one that my mother-in-law has. I mean, not my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law has that nobody wants because they think it's creepy, of somebody in her family, on her side of the family. And they all laugh about it. She knows who it is. It's some aunt, I think, or grandparent. I don't know. But it's just the way it was taken. Yeah, Chris, that does make it worse. I'm going to sew around these some too. And I'll probably add some lace and things to it. But right now I'm wanting to use old paper. So keeping with my theme. Yeah, that helps when those names are there. Hi, Dale. Welcome back. Groceries home and put away, I assume. Elvin fed and taken out. Good. You can rest a minute. Feel like I was getting so gloomy and dark. Just because it's finished doesn't mean it has to be. Almost there. Oh, I hope he makes it. I would really hate for him to have an accident. Can't hold back the shabby chic anymore. When your kid has to go to the bathroom like that and you don't have control over, an hour can become forever. Especially if you're the one really needing to go to the bathroom. So I'm sure it's not been too enjoyable for him. I assume you have your headphones on, Pam. Again, something we teachers couldn't do. As much as we might have wanted to. Well, on one field trip, we just went to Pensacola for the opera. And one of the teachers was a historian. And that was fun because he was quizzing the kids on Pensacola. Of course, the ones that have lived there their whole life think, they know all. And he was quizzing them and telling them stuff about Pensacola that I for sure didn't know, not being from there. And that they were quiet. They really liked that. Yep. Multitasking Pam. I always just wear one. That way I can hear too. Oh, it is Gail. So you didn't miss it, did you? Though you did, you miss the rain. Carrying in groceries from the grocery store out, and they get wet. And I hope your people that carried it out were careful. Now let's put a pretty little flower on. Oh, I found paper clips. See? That's what happened when you pick up. Oh, your family lives in Bruton and Flemington. I'll be darned. Yeah, I know exactly where that is. Yeah, we go through Bruton and stop there for gas because Alabama's cheaper than Florida gas. At least it was. I assume it still is. I found out that somebody else was just on the other side of the river, not far from where I am right now. Yay, Barbara, we're glad you're back. You missed friends coming in. There we go. See, now this is more me. Bring on the fabric. But I do try and get some grunge done too, because I know not everybody is shabby chic. Somebody around here hates pink. I don't remember who it is. I wrote it down though. I know Marty doesn't like lavender. I do remember that. And we all find the men hard to do. Esther gave me, that's who it was, this fabric. There we go. I'll have to watch. I love quotes. When I was in college, I really collected them. I had little metal file boxes full of them. I think I had 3 or 4. No idea where they are now. I'm sure I threw them away. I'm good at doing that. There we have this little gentleman. I think that needs a button or something. It's too big. I've got a whole button container. I need to redo these. I've had too many of the, I don't know what I want there. I think I'll wait on that one. Yeah, I do too, Gail. And that's what I'm going to go back and do on all these. But I want to sew around them and make sure they're like I want them first. Well, good for you, Miriam. Bright pink sweatshirt. It's cold. Greg came in from being outside and turned the furnace up. I do, Janet, but I won't sew these. I just put in a new needle. So I won't sew these until I get ready to sew, change my needle, and then I clean out my machine when I'm done. You write them in your notebook, Joni? Oh, Dorit does have some beautiful art pages. I know I shouldn't get Janet, but when you only have one here, and I don't sew a lot around my stuff. But I do some. I love the look. I just don't tend to like these will lay there, and then if I get tired of them laying there, I will go ahead and just put them up because I'm tired of looking at them. And a lot of things I finish up too when I'm actually using them. And some things I send to people unfinished, like not sewn or something like that. And then if they want to finish it, they can. I don't know, it just looks more finished, I think, but obviously not enough to always make me do it. Bye, Joni. Feed your wee one. Well, I think I'm going to call this a day. Been on here a little over 2 hours. Sometimes I go way too long, I think. Nobody ever watches the replays. Well, they do, but I'm sure they're not watching the whole replay. So I think I'm going to call it good for now. And I hope you all have a lovely day. If you decide not to craft, there's always a book. And always remember, you have a purpose. Bye for now.